Alright guys, we are into the final here, and wow, did that start quickly. We have a best of 3 for seeding purposes at the national finals. Let's see what's going to happen. Spawning in the bottom left hand side position of Shakuras Plateau as the red Terran player representing Team Infused, we have Znow. His opponent in the top right position, spawning as the blue Protoss. Will he be able to obtain that seeding from his opponent this time around? He has one best of 3 left to play today. It is MyRevengeEA.
And we just saw how comfortable Znow is going up against Protoss players, so we'll see what he has in store for us here for this first map of the series. A very crisply executed timing push there that last round. We managed to get him here this far. But Shakuras Plateau, a little bit of a different map. The options are available to expand and get these big macro games going, so we'll have to see how things shake down here. Do you have any expectations, especially after having seen Milk play as well now?
Well, I think that we have there's only one ramp to defend at the natural expansion, and it's not actually the biggest one we've ever seen, so expansions from both players are much easier to defend on this map than some others, for example like Tal'Darim that is also in the map pool. So I anticipate we won't see any one-base play out of either guy in this matchup. I think Znow will probably go for 1 Rax expand, and I see no reason for MyRevengeEA not to go for something similar to that as soon as he realizes his opponent isn't all-inning. So as soon as the scouts go down, I think he's going to feel fairly comfortable.
Well, we do have Probe making his way across the map, checking the top of it, though. He's soon going to realize that, yeah, okay, we're actually cross positions, not close by air. And Milk should be getting that information fairly shortly here. There we go. Very nice, crisp timing there from him. And, yeah, it's really just kind of the opening moments of this match, as the SCV is now going to make his way across the map to get some scouting info as well. So these guys, you know, we'll see how things unfold for them. Just the picture is being painted, as Apollo would say.
Ooh, I like that phrase. Indeed, it is being painted. Both players finding out just that little bit more about each other to make sure they know what's going on. The Probe realizing it's a 1 Rax expand after seeing no gas. Will he be able to stop the command center from going down? No, he cannot be annoying. No pylons will get dropped there. And Znow is going to be able to put down that command center without any hindrance whatsoever. What will EA's response be? The Cybernetics core is about to complete for him. He is on 1 gas with only 2 harvesters mining as it currently stands. He is up to 300 minerals going, oh, never mind, going all the way back down to 200 now. So could we be seeing a little bit of aggression coming out of him? A pylon going to be blocking, able to warp in units at the top of the ramp here, but a probe is already in place at the natural. I anticipate we should be seeing an expansion very, very soon.
I wish I understood what that said. I'm assuming it has something to do with MERS.
That's quite possible.
Not about Seed, just a show match final.
Oh, that's strange. It was about Seed last week. Okay, no big deal. So it looks like this match actually is just going to be a pure show match, best of 3 between the 2 winners here. In which case it's incredibly sporting of them to play it. Of course they don't need to, but they've played it anyway. I really appreciate that. We're going up to Rax number 2 now for Znow, who has also taken his 2 gases in his main base, and a bunker going down at the top of the ramp. Very, very important bunker. Need to make sure he is safe against any sort of early aggression coming out from EA here, and the first Zealot and Stalker are actually going to arrive just as the bunker is about to complete. So excellent timing coming out of here from Milk EA. Those Marines will get in the bunker, and oh, actually the Zealot getting lost there. A little bit careless from Milk EA. He probably should have left there while he could, and EA losing a Zealot, but otherwise not too big a deal. Going up to Gateway 2nd and 3rd now, as the Nexus is about 3/4 of the way complete.
That's right, it's adding up now, because the seeding shouldn't make any difference. Hellspawn last night on The Good Show said that they're going to do the brackets live there, and it will be a random selection almost. Ah, so
that's a bit of a turnaround compared to what they were telling me last week. So I wonder if they've changed the system from that last week to this week.
I'm if they duped the players into, yeah, okay, we're gonna have a finals about seeds, guys. Yeah, it matters. Don't worry. And now they're figuring it out. Like, oh shit, you bastards.
And now that Naniwa, Moro, Sase, and Bishu have qualified, it's like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. It's just a show match. Yeah. That's harsh though, because these players actually have come such an awful long way, and they've played through some incredible competition today. I think both of these guys really deserve to be here on merit, and they're really strong players, but not exactly the tip-top you hear about these guys all the time kind of players, so it's really cool that they're going to be going to the national finals.
nicely done there. The scout will be denied. So Znow, no additional information for him, although the walk up here, a little bit of a pressure coming out. He does have the sentries. SCVs pulled right off the line, though, in time, and they should be there to defend. We'll see if the follow-up warp-in will be enough here for Milk. And the thing is that we've kind of seen this style out of Milk already. A very aggressive player who likes to get in here and put pressure on his opponents. The force field's going down, denying any repair on the bunker, and it looks like it will fall here shortly. And the Marines do make an escape. Now, however, there's no more meat shield in front of Milk's units. The Zealots are gone, and he will be forced back. And if we check the units lost, there are only 4 SCVs killed. 4 SCVs killed in that last exchange, so... worth it, not? We'll see. Mules are pretty good.
Well, he's going back for round number 2 now as well, and the SCV building the bunker actually gets caught out. Good force fields actually trapping a lot of this bio, but there just aren't enough Zealots to hold that bio in place while the units behind deal the damage. Sentries just don't deal damage nearly as fast as Stalkers. There's only 1 Stalker with that army, and therefore, as soon as the Zealots die, that was always going to be that. We have got a robotics facility, though, back in the main base of EA, and he is going for that robotics bay as well, so it looks like a 2-base Colossus timing could be on the cards here for a Protoss player. In the meantime, in the main base of Znow, we see that Stim is about complete. Combat Shield hasn't actually been researched, even though there is a second tech lab there on that barracks, and he is going up to that reactored medevac production.
I like how he starts it immediately as you say it, but, oh, a little bit of a slip up there, perhaps getting supply blocked. But yeah, +2 is on the way, and, you know, having deflected that early pressure there from Milk, from Revenge, shouldn't be too much of an issue here for Znow to, you know, get his rhythm back and get things flowing in his favor, as he is protecting, you know, covering all the bases. Did put a turret up, so in case any DT foul play was to happen, no problems, no issues.
Yeah, he's going playing very solidly. I want to say defensively, but that's not really true. He only has 1 bunker up. He's not actually overcommitting to that. He has a missile turret where it counts in case of any sort of early DT cheese or something like that. He's got his factory. The brave scouting factory drivers of today are going to be scouting around the bottom of the map as it currently stands. The only thing I'm a little bit surprised about is that neither player seems particularly keen on holding those central watchtowers. I would have thought that would be, especially for Znow, would be quite nice if you wanted to check out like some scouting probes or anything like that if anything pops through the middle of the map, which is of course one big channel that you have to go through if you want to get there by ground. It would just be a useful spot to scout, but he isn't actually holding it at the moment. Instead, he's going to be going for his 3rd command center, which he might float to this particularly forward location. I'd be a little bit surprised if he does, but that's what it looks like based on where he's building it. We'll have to wait and see if he decides to do that in the future. And a 2nd starport incoming. Has he smelt Colossi? Let's take a quick look. He has seen the robotics bay, so he is getting ready for absolutely extreme Viking production here, and that could prove to be in his favor. But at the same time, MyRevengeEA is getting double upgrades now, and he's getting his Twilight Council too, so he doesn't have to overcommit to Colossi.
And he will be fairly well protected here. That's actually interesting. I didn't hear the scan go down, so...
No, neither did I.
When did that information get caught?
But
I'm not sure, but...
It's definitely a scan. It's all very circular over here. So he did...
Yeah, there's no doubt, because I was about to say that, oh, the SCV got denied at the beginning, so he's completely in the dark, and knowing that, he just immediately throws down that scan and gets all that information that he needed.
One thing to point out as well, it was obviously a scan too, because MyRevengeEA hasn't built any... He has 1 Colossus, that's it. And he actually threw down the Double Forge and Twilight Council, which Znow has not seen. Oh. So he might... Oh, nice pick off there of the medevac.
That is brutal.
So Znow might produce loads and loads of Vikings now, and he's producing them 3 at a time, versus Colossi that aren't going to exist later on, and that could give MyRevengeEA a really big advantage in that first engagement if Znow doesn't follow up his scouting with something to verify that there aren't actually more Colossi out on the field.
Oh man, I love this play though. Look
wow.
at this. All right, Nexus going down, and our factory here that was meant to deny the 3rd, going to be useless. I'm sorry, factory. You're just no use here.
And then he starts building a Hellion.
Yeah, oh well.
I think I can.
Yeah, exactly. I will give you somehow. But that was really a big blow to Znow, though. Losing a medevac full of units like that. One, he loses the medevac, which is fairly big, seeing as how he's producing nothing but Vikings. So self-healing for his Marines,
that's
not really going to be there. But yeah, he's kind of just preparing for the wrong thing. Templar Archive's already down. And we do not have any kind of ghosts or anything like that, Ghost Academy down. It's just nothing but Viking production. So he's really just in the dark as far as what's happening on the other side of the map right now.
I entirely agree with you, Semmler. I think you hit the nail on the head there. Excellent mind games coming out from MyRevengeEA. He knows that the robotics bay was scanned, just put down a whole bunch of other buildings. Templar Archives now up as well. And look at this, we have 2-2 In fact, we actually have shield level 1 being researched at the moment, which I like because he's planning on going for some Archons. That's a scan down in the middle of the map that sees, well, hang on a second, there's only one Colossus. I wonder if that will change Snow's thinking. He has actually started medevac production once again, so all of those units aren't going to be crammed into the one poor medevac that must be an absolute sweaty cesspit. My god, I wouldn't want that many units in one place. He is going to be making a couple more just to supplement that. Both players have secured their expansion safely towards the center of the map now, but I think MyRevengeEA has done a good job. There's a lot of useless supply here, basically, in Vikings. There were 10 of them out on the field and only one Colossus. Sure, it's going to go down very quickly, but the rest of this army is going to be very resilient.
Yeah, you just have to know that the bottom in Snow's stomach just dropped when he saw that. He's just like, oh, shit, okay. Now what to do? And immediately the Ghost Academy goes down, but he just knows, exactly as you said there, that he's got about 10 Vikings. They are not going to be very useful at all in this next engagement. Upgrades as well, only now, just now starting on +2. So this is going to be fairly brutal. This is going to be fairly brutal. As soon as Milk decides to move out here, as soon as he decides it's his time, this Snow is going to be in for a rough ride. Interesting point to note, actually.
I'm not really sure in what order upgrades are particularly optimal or something like that, but we do see that MyRevenge has opted for these armor upgrades. He's actually got +1 shields already and is going for +3 armor at the same time as +2 weapons, so he really values the defensive nature of that armor, possibly because he wants to get more zealots with charge as part of this army composition, perhaps. And ooh, look at this, another scan just showing the army composition, not too much else at the moment, still kicking himself that there's only one Colossus in with that. But where is it? We have a Dark Shrine on the way. Is it there? Yes, it is, right next to the Robotics Bay. Dark Shrine, and we have Gravitic Drive coming out for those Warp Prisms as well. So I wonder if we're going to be seeing some DT drops in the near future, as unfortunately Brave Factory Pilot is going to be under siege here.
Yes, he's going to have a rough time of things. The Factory Pilot.
He will not have a good time.
Guy, I mean, it's just like a building, you know, but then all of a sudden you've humanized it. You've said, this building has a driver in it all of a sudden.
But the driver's pretty suicidal.
Oh, yeah.
Experience has shown.
The thing's on fire. He doesn't give a shit. He's still flying it.
If I were him, I'd get out, man. Where's the parachute? It's a huge building. It should come with a parachute.
Alright.
I don't know. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Zealot at the watchtower, and this is why it's so crucial, because MyRevengeEA is going to spot exactly the timing that Snow is moving out here, and Snow only getting 1 instead of 2 of those watchtowers, so everything will be known. Ooh, here we go, the first engagement is coming in. Oh, crap.
Well, that's exactly what you need to pick the EMPs go out. The storm is still there, however, but the damage has been done, and this is why that +3 armor would make such a big difference here, is that none of the shields are there for the Protoss army. It does look like he has enough to push through here. Just too many Archons and the Immortals going to work as well, with 9 and 9 kills both. So despite the fact that the EMPs were near perfect on that clumped up Protoss force, the Terran units just did not have enough punch to do away with them.
Yeah, that looked like a fairly even engagement. I mean, they've come out of that at 130 versus 132 supply. That's pretty even as far as I can see. Oh no, blink forward, will he get the medevacs? Yes, he gets one of them, not the one with the units, but that is still 100 gas, so not bad at all. Those EMPs, the EMPs hit almost all of the sentries, so there weren't really any force fields. Advantage Terran. Then the storms eliminated about half of the army instantaneously, and all of a sudden they were on level pegging again. So that was it was a really nice engagement from both sides.
No, I would have to say that the only thing is that it's what we said earlier. It's just that all of a sudden those 10 Vikings made a world of difference. Because sure, they sniped the Colossus, but then they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
They were landed immediately, but I'm sure you would rather have a couple Marauders and a Ghost or something along those lines rather than you know, the Vikings going melee damage.
That's quite true. Like when you saw the EMPs initially go down, the Templar obviously were able to storm afterwards. Imagine if there were just an extra 2 Ghosts here, and that they were able to EMP the Templar as well. That would have been an overwhelming Terran victory. But those Vikings just taking up a little bit too much supply. He is remaking a few of them. He has 4 left, but nowhere near as many as before, which is great news. In the meantime, it looks like MyRevengeEA is going to be using this opportunity to go for Colossi once again himself, and getting extended thermal lance this time as well.
Yeah, and getting a good read there, managing to not, MyRevengeEA managing to deny the drop that was coming at his 4th base. So another Viking, or pardon me, medevac full of units going to waste for Snow. A little bit of a shame. Want to see if anything's going to come out of these DCs, though. I mean, there we go. So we have one making its way down, and it will start hacking away at this fourth base.
Oh, he needs to...
What do you see, action, man?
Oh, if it were up to me, I would have said that MyRevengeEA needs to not hack away at that fourth base. What is the point of revealing that you have DTs by using a single DT to definitely not get any damage done? You forced a scan, sure, but I would much rather him walk around and maybe kill an SCV or two at the third or something like that before he actually gets discovered. Not going to make too much of a difference, though. I mean, we now are in a situation where Znow knows that the DTs are incoming. He is at 3-2 upgrades versus the 3-2-2 of EA,
Yeah,
and that is huge. He has just gone up to Protoss Weapons level 3 as well, so those upgrades really have been piling at home. Non-stop chrono boost on those. There are only 2 forges to my knowledge. If you see a third forge, Semmler, let me know, but I really think he's just been doing all of these upgrades off of 2 forges, just non-stop chrono boosting everything.
Well, we do have the armies there. It looks like they're kind of dancing here back and forth in the middle of the map. Bit of a clumped up army here, but the Vikings are just going to do a phenomenal job against these Colossus, seeing as how there's so few Stalkers to do any real damage here. Although now we have the confrontation going down. We do have the Colossus getting forward, the Storms raining in as well. Money storms on the entire Terran force. But was there enough oomph here? Was there enough behind the punch to be able to knock him out? And it does seem that once again our Terran player is just going to get hammered back. The backup zealots, the reinforcements are going to roll forward. And there just wasn't enough there to deal with this Protoss force.
Oh, and GG!
Yeah.
MyRevengeEA is going to win game number 1, and I have to say, Semmler, as a Terran player, watching that engagement really made me cringe. And the reason it made me cringe is because the EMPs, once again, were absolutely perfect. They were beautiful. And then as soon as the EMPs went down, the Storms came around. But if the Storms come around, why aren't you splitting your units? It's like he is taking the same amount of damage back from the Storms that he dished out in EMP, when he could just move his units back slightly for the first couple of Storms and then have a much better engagement, and he didn't do that. And that's twice in that game that he did that, which meant that MyRevenge was able to squeeze out the victory. And these two players were really close to each other in terms of skill level. Just a small decision like that could have meant the difference between victory and defeat. I'm just so surprised he opted not to do that there.
I'm kind of curious. I'm wondering if he overproduced Vikings as well that time around. Yes, he did get some pretty good damage out onto the Colossus immediately.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so very difficult to say. But yes, definitely not pulling back the units from those Storms is, you know, and attacking into a choke like that could be the means to an end. And a kitten is currently in mortal combat with a fly
mouse
next to me.
With a what?
No. Dude, with moths? Well, first of
Oh,
all, kittens
moths.
attack anything that moves and has a pulse. But
that's not true, because they also follow beams of light.
They do.
They follow
and
anything.
Paper and paper. It's this one kitten, man. He just like attacks everything around me. Like last night, he was locked in combat with a fucking piece of paper for 2 hours below my desk. And sadly enough, my feet managed to get in the way a couple times, and they have sharp claws.
Ouch.
So
that sounds pretty epic, man. Did the paper
these
win?
Cats are too much. The paper won too. It survived to fight another day.
Oh dear. Well, speaking of surviving to fight another day, Semmler, we are into game number 2 here in the finals of the Swedish World Championship Series qualifiers, spawning over here on the left-hand side of Antigua Shipyard as the red Terran player, after exhibiting such a flawless performance in his semi-final, now finds himself 1 game down in the final. Will he be able to claw this back and bring it to an ace? It is Znow. His opponent, though, spawning in the right-hand side, must be feeling pretty good about those Storms in that last game, suffering a lot of EMP blows, but ultimately able to muster up the units with his superior upgrades. It is MyRevengeEA.
One thing to note, perhaps, that we need to actually turn down the in-game volume a little bit on your end, because apparently people aren't quite hearing us in the fights.
That's bizarre. Okay, not a problem.
Hey,
done.
We've had, I mean, it's kind of fits the general theme of the day in any case. So,
oh, definitely.
We'll
So
just
many
keep
things
rolling
going
with
wrong.
it.
Yeah, it's totally cool, man. I've really, like, all of these technical issues aside, I've actually really enjoyed casting today. It's not that often you sit down and you cast with someone you've never met before, and you just have the time of your life. And I just want to get it out there right now. I've really enjoyed tonight. It's been fantastic, man.
Well, thanks. Same, man. No doubt. It's actually fun to be casting StarCraft 2 again. It's been quite a while since I have. We only really have the scan invitationals in the arenas, and those are once a month over here, so I don't get to practice too much. So it's actually a good time.
Don't worry, man. Come over if you want to cast some more. Let me know. I'm sure we can put you to good use. We'll suck up all the hours in your day. That's not a problem. It's something we specialize in.
There's not enough of them already.
Too much. There's too much StarCraft, not enough casters. Gotta do it, man.
Oh man, I'll take you up on that eventually. We'll do the Playham or something.
Done. Sounds like a deal. So nothing too spectacular coming out of either of these players at the moment, guys. Znow has not taken his gas on 13 like you would normally expect a Terran to do. So he is going for 1 barracks, expand by the looks of things, orbital command now being produced. In the meantime, over here in the Protoss space, we have 1 gas coming out with 2 harvesters on it from EA. He is getting a cybernetics core after his gateway. So he could go any number of routes here. He could perhaps wait for a little bit, gather more minerals, and go for an expansion. He could go for a robotics facility, which I think is a little bit more likely, or he could go for his second gas. I mean, the possibilities here are quite diverse for the Protoss player when they don't actually invest that much gas into a build, and it looks like expansion is the route that EA is going to choose, just as the SCV walks in and sees everything.
Yeah, great information there for the SCV Znow, able to just basically put everything together now. So he should be fairly content with this, and he is going to send that SCV right back home. In the meantime, in his base, we do have his command center going up and a second barracks once again. So a very similar build so far to what we saw earlier. And yeah, I mean that's the one thing about StarCraft 2.
Oh, GSL, zoom in, because we have a cancel over here, and holy moly, that's a lot of gateways going down, Semmler. We got ourselves a 5-gate Zealot all in. Except he has a gas, so he's going to have maybe a couple of Stalkers and Statues with this, but oh, did things just get real. Forward piling going down now for MyRevengeEA, and Znow is blissfully unaware.
Ah, exactly as we say. Oh yeah, dude, this is just chill. Yeah, StarCraft 2, nothing really happens early game. What?
Oh yeah. My goodness. Okay. Presence of bunker confirmed, but that's really about it. MyRevenge is still probably going, you know what, I'm perfectly happy with this. He might even get a second forward pylon down. Oh, cool, I was actually about to highlight that location as well. A Protoss favorite, of course, able to warp in on the bottom as well as the top, and it is out of sight until a Terran goes to scout there. So that pylon's going to go down. We should be seeing Warp Gate research finishing right about now. And we have 5 warp gates incoming. What is the worker supply looking like? It is 26 to 20. Workers have been cut. A factory is going down now. There are only 2 barracks worth of production. Stim is 2 minutes away, ladies and gentlemen. And MyRevengeEA is looking to end this right here, right now.
This is a nightmare. Znow is going to have a wake-up call. But then again, this is a show match after all, and I wonder if MyRevenge is just going, let us end this in style, ladies and gents. As we do have the Marauder making his way out, he is going to poke at this Stalker, and very nicely done here by MyRevenge is he's only showing that Stalker, didn't show anything else, and waited till the units made their way back up the ramp to get that second warp in going. So he's still holding his cards close to his chest.
No SCVs.
No go, but this is it.
Oh, no SCVs to repair the bunker. It's going to go down so unbelievably easily, and Znow is sitting in his chair right now going, where did all this Protoss stuff come from? That's a lot of Protoss indeed, and you know what? That's going to be more than enough to end this game. I actually think now we have a champion of today. Oh, the lone sentry does get taken out, which is a bit of a shame, but Znow is now down to 27 supply versus 44. There is no mining going on, save for 2 SCVs. Gratis, well played, ladies and gentlemen, and MyRevengeEA is going to be the champion of this online qualifier to the Sweden WCS Nationals.